time for tonight's Tool Time Award, and tonight goes to New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Now, when the Occupy Wall Street protests began in his city back on September 17th, he said that the protesters were welcome as long as they are respectful to other New Yorkers. But it appears that after 2 weeks of protests on Wall Street, Mayor Bloomberg is changing his tune. Just take a listen to his comments this morning while he was appearing on a weekly radio show.
The protesters are protesting against people who make $40,000 to $50,000 a year and are struggling to make ends meet. That's the bottom line. Those are the people that work on Wall Street or in the finance sector.
All right, somebody needs to explain to Michael Bloomberg what Occupy Wall Street is really all about. The protesters on the streets are not targeting the employees that are making $40,000 to $50,000 a year. The people on Occupy Wall Street are not rising up against lower-level employees in the financial sector. They're protesting against a system, a financial system which, because of greed and a lack of regulations, helped collapse the world's economy 3 years ago. They're protesting against the people who sent the economy into a deep recession, who have not been held accountable for their corrupt or inept business practices. And it seems to me that Bloomberg has either totally missed the entire point of this protest or that he's purposefully mischaracterizing it. Listen as he defends Wall Street and big banks.
We need the banks. If the banks don't go out and make loans, we will not come out of our economic problems. We will not have jobs. And so anything we can do to responsibly help the banks do that, encourage them to do that, is what we need. I think we spend much too much time in this country worrying about why we got into problems as opposed to how we go forward. Also, we always tend to blame the wrong people. We blame the banks. They were part of this, but so was Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae and Congress.
You know what? You're correct, Mayor Bloomberg. Wall Street is not solely to blame, but they were the driving force behind the collapse of the financial system. Their actions have cost millions of Americans their jobs, their homes, and helped start a global recession. Now, in response, U.S. taxpayers had to save their asses with a major bailout. And to this date, no major executives on Wall Street have faced charges for their actions leading up to the financial crisis. Quite the opposite. Corporate salaries and profits have rebounded above pre-recession levels. Yet unemployment for the American people still hovers around 9.1% officially and above 16% for the U6. And nearly 1 in 6 Americans is now classified as poor. Now, the protesters on Wall Street are just trying to draw a little bit of attention to this glaring injustice. But Mayor Bloomberg won't stop defending the banks as if they are somehow the victims in this situation. You know, this is the second time this week that Bloomberg has actually rushed to the poor bank's defense.
Well, nobody has any confidence. If you're a bank and you have money, would you make a loan when people are talking about putting you in jail for what happened in the mortgage crisis 3-4 years ago? You hunker down.
Personally, I simply just cannot understand how Mayor Michael Bloomberg continues to defend bankers and Wall Street against a group of peaceful protesters. Michael Bloomberg's take on the Occupy Wall Street protest is misguided and elitist, and that's why he's tonight's Tool Time winner.